We begin with that breaking news. The FBI releasing new details about the suspect in the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, including new images of the backpack they believe the man had on when he went to her home. The FBI says forensic analysis of footage recovered from the camera on Nancy's front porch led them to conclude the suspect is wearing a black Ozark Trail hiker pack backpack. The CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez is live in Tucson, Arizona. So Andres, tell us about the new details we're learning about this suspect.
Well, Juliet, it is important to note that this is the first time that authorities are using the word suspect in this disappearance. They describe this person as a man, 5'9" to 5'10" as far as his height. With an average build. They ended up doing this because there's some very skilled technicians over at the FBI Operational Technology Division, and they were able to sift a little bit further into that doorbell camera footage that we've all seen from earlier in the week, and they came up with the suspect description. The other thing is that we all know that money talks, and so they are also now doubling the reward money to $100,000 for anyone who may have information on where Nancy is or whoever ended up kidnapping her in the overnight hours of January 31st and February 1st. They've also shared 3 still images of the backpack that is at the focus of this investigation. It is a 25-liter Ozark Trail backpack. We ended up going out and buying it. My colleague Jonathan Vigliotti did. It is the private label of Walmart, Ozark Trail, 25 liters, and you could see those distinctive reflective straps that we saw in the surveillance video. So they're saying that this is, in fact, the specific backpack that they are looking at. And because it is a private label, very much like how Kirkland is to Costco, well, Ozark Trail is to Walmart. And so they are hitting up local Walmarts here in Tucson, but also in a region, trying to figure out how many of these have been bought in the last couple of weeks, who purchased it, how was it purchased, if they're using cash or credit, to try and nail down this individual. Also giving us a little bit more context as to how many tips they've received, over 13,000. They're coming in fast and furious. And the question is, how do you sift through all these tips? And so, according to the FBI, every tip is reviewed for credibility, relevance, and information. Those are their words. And they have specific people doing this. They're called threat intake examiners, and they're over at the National Threat Operations Center, and they're going through all these tips that come in and essentially case manage them, trying to triage which ones take priority. Eventually, it may have been a tip that led them during their search yesterday to recover a pair of gloves from the side of the road about 1.5 miles away from Guthrie's home. Those gloves right now being tested for DNA. They also have thrown every resource available the FBI has to this case. Right now they are manning a 24-hour command post in which dozens of agents and investigators are assigned to tips and leads, and they're taking action during every single shift. You can imagine the long days and hours that they're putting in and trying to get Nancy back home. But again, this is the first time that authorities are using the word suspect, that they have a suspect in this case in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.